Peter, what is your sense on the crude oil prices? Because we have seen strength here, but the products seem to be doing much better.
Well, good afternoon, Manisha. Yeah, I think you're going to see a hit up from here. It just depends on how heavy Laura is. We know that it's already killed 9 people in Haiti and the Dominican Republic. So as it moves onto land, I think it's greatly going to impact as far as the production and some of those outages. I wouldn't be surprised if Nat Gas gets a bit of a kick up from here, Manisha, and it could be up another 10 or 15% within a couple of days. So that's where I think there's a lot of movement over the short run.
So what is your sense? Do you see the prices moving up, or is it about the COVID concerns and the demand recovery concerns which are keeping the prices in check?
Well, yeah, certainly. You know, there've been 7 straight days that we've actually been under 50,000. And I think as COVID in the States, it's been the lowest number in 2 months, I think was today. So there's a little bit of recovery there. But as we know, crude's been range-bound for the last matter of weeks. And now it's even getting tighter between 42.50 and 45.50 until we see something definitive. And this could be the cause. I mean, Marco blew out and it didn't create too much of an issue, but Laura is going to be far more damaging. So that seems to be the great impact, what can happen as far as US liquefied Nat Gas export industry. So I think the Nat Gas is going to be the one to watch, and that could take crude higher from here also, Manisha.
Peter, so, since we've been holding $40 per barrel, last couple of months actually have been within that range. We haven't seen it break on the lower side or on the higher side for that matter. And we've had both kind of news statements, numbers coming in. The initial recovery that we saw after lockdown easing hasn't really, it seems to be stalling. We haven't seen month-on-month recovery. It's been quite uneven. So how do you look at the next quarter? By the end of this year, where do you see prices?
I'll answer that before I get there, but I think that where the fast money was, it was really about the gold trade, and that really created, from a speculator standpoint, far more interest. So we need to park that one. Where we see crude over the short time, I think over the next, it'll creep up from here, probably 47, 48. I think it's got the potential. But we see, remember, you've got 2 things, and we always say this every year together, Manisha. This is the first time we've got to be very conscious of this. We haven't seen, it's the fastest start to the hurricane season in records going back to 1851. We've had 13 storms now have formed across the Atlantic this year, and we've had 5 hit the US. So they're really great numbers. And if this continues to this sort of magnitude, we had exceptionally hot weather in Australia in summer. So we did in the Middle East. And as we know, that heats the water. So in turn, we're seeing this, the unseasonably warm water in that Gulf of Mexico region, creating those weather problems as far as hurricanes, Manisha. Don't rule that out. We could see far worse season than we haven't seen in decades.
One quick final question, Peter, and this is about the demand from Asia. I mean, China has bought record numbers in the month of June and July, but August, we hear that the demand is slowing down, and the Indian demand also hasn't really picked up so strongly. How are you looking at this incremental or recovery demand coming in from Asia?
Let's see what happens as far as COVID. Those numbers are spooking everyone with South Korea. So we've just got to be mindful of that. If we see a turn, and what we saw in Hong Kong today, that 30-odd-year-old person actually catching coronavirus twice. So that really is that's a game changer if that comes back and bites everyone. So it's too hard to comment, what we're going to see as far as demand destruction, or whether we're going to see a huge turnaround. But all I'll say is this: we will get back to a normal, Manisha, but it might be a little bit longer than what everyone anticipated. So that's why I don't see any big breakouts as far as price, unless you see something dramatic from Mother Nature like this.